Hello, hello, Josie here. Are you ready for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And are you sure? Okay, here we go. A while back, I posted a video that was talking about the devil coming to collect. The devil coming to collect. And I want to stress the importance of you understanding exactly what that means. The devil is coming to collect. You see, for a lot of our enemies, they found it quite funny. But not only did they find it funny, but they found it to be lucrative. Lucrative meaning that they would be able to gain off of us in some way, shape, or form. They thought that they were going to gain abundance, wealth, status from us and off of us, and they chose to do this in the wrong way. They chose to steal it from us. They chose to lie on our character. They chose to go about getting it in the wrong way. And they want to use us to get it. They did not think that we would mind and or that we would know what they were doing. They did not care if we were going to be negatively affected by what they were doing against us and or by what they were saying against us. They honestly believed and felt in a lot of ways that they were justified in doing what they did against us. But they couldn't do it by themselves. They had to go and seek the help of practitioners. They had to go and seek the help of voodoo priestesses, voodoo priests, witches, warlocks. They had to go through, or rather go to, great lengths to try to achieve and or acquire the things that God has for us and make it as if it was their own, as if they created it, as if they were the mastermind, they were the professional. They had to go to these individuals because they did not have the power and or they did not have the ability to be able to do the things that they were wanting to do. So because these individuals chose to do that, they basically called upon the devil in order to have access to us, in order to gain off of us, in order to find out information. And what they ended up doing was they ended up selling their souls to the devil. Because they thought that they were going to gain so much, they were going to be successful, they were going to be abundant and wealthy and so on and so forth, they decided to go to these lengths and believing that they were not going to have any kind of issue or problem in acquiring what they were wanting to acquire from us. But I'm here to tell you that the devil was aware of who he was coming up against. The devil was aware that he would not be able, and or they would not be able to access our destinies, access our abilities, our talents, steal from us what they were wanting to steal from us. A lot of these individuals, they wanted to take us out so that they could step into our shoes and step into our place. And the devil knew this because he knew exactly what they wanted because they told him. And the devil knew what he wanted from them. So he made a deal with them, knowing that he was a liar, knowing that he was not going to be able to uphold his end of the deal as far as exactly what they wanted to happen. He didn't outright lie to him, but he also did not tell him the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. He left some things out. And now the devil's coming to collect. The devil's coming to take possession of some people's souls because they just had to have what was not theirs. They just had to claim what did not belong to them. They just had to abuse, misuse, sacrifice, manipulate an individual that is one of God's children so that they could step in that person's shoes and claim to be something that they're not. I don't know why the song "I Think It's Gonna Rain Today" just came to mind, but it did. From the movie Beaches, Bette Midler. People do not believe in or think it's going to rain in their lives. They don't believe that anything bad is going to happen to them. They think that because they have the money or they have the social network, the status, the friends and so on and so forth, the practitioners, the witches, the warlocks, that they can go and pay for a spell. They can go and pay for this or that, and there's not going to be any sort of consequence. But I tell you, there's going to be a major, massive consequence for their behavior and their actions, and one of those is that they are now in the possession of the devil. They didn't get what they wanted, and they sold their soul. But I also heard this the other day too. Someone said, you can't sell what does not belong to you. Your souls belong to God. Well, I believe it says in Scripture He will give them over to reprobated minds. So basically, the devil can have control and or possession, so to speak, over these individuals and use them in his areas where he can take full advantage of them because they wanted to take full advantage of what he was capable of doing. But even the devil knows that he cannot go against what God has considered precious. He will allow the devil to test us. He will allow the devil to do certain things, but comes a certain point where God is going to say, okay, that's enough. You've tested him enough. You've tested her enough. You've tested my child enough. They've passed. You can no longer do anything against my child. You can no longer speak or say anything against my child. Anyone that tries to will have to deal with God's vengeance. Because we have been through the fire. We have been through the testing. We have been through the trauma, the unfairness, and we stayed true and committed to God throughout all of it. But there are those, like I said, that They went all out for the devil. They have gone all out for the devil. They have engaged in behaviors that were not pleasing to God, meaning that they themselves did not pass the test. And because they did not pass the test, that means that they are going to have to go through those same experiences, those same ordeals, those same trials, setbacks, limitations that they wanted us to go through. I'm thankful for the blessings that God has in store for me, despite what my enemies, known and unknown, do not want me to receive. But in all fairness, I deserve every single gift and blessing that the Lord has for me because of what I've had to go through in my life. What I have never subjected another person to go through and or wished for another person to go through. And because of how I know God has not only used me, but is going to continue to use me to promote His kingdom. I'm going to leave it at that. Gotta go.